Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda, hero psych, defender of the fatherland, off here to a 1v1. Oh, you guessed it, it is Wolfheze. In the north is Covenant and Farlion, fighting here for a combined British-American task force made up of elements of the 3rd Armour Division, backed up by the 51st Infantry. Here with Lease Assault, Mobile Assault, and Vanguard Infantry, with rifle defensive structures, mortar half-tracks, light machine guns, time and target artillery barrages, and Priest. And we got Lease Assault with assault sections, or mortars assault sections, M10s, M5 half-tracks, and the strafing support. In the south it is Sloba and GiantGingerBreadman, fighting here for the German army of Deutschland. Here with the 2nd Panzerdivision with Fortified Armour, Lightning War, Storm, and Elite Armour here with the 221, Emergency Repairs, Panzer Commander, Heat Shells, and Sturmtiger. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my page supporters, wonderful people, one and all, and their continued support allows the Propagandacast to keep continuing its glorious war efforts. A big thanks to all those. Other people can join the ranks, become part of the heroic Propaganda Legion by pledging on Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Links are in the video description. Or if you're considering pre-order income is free, you can do so by the link in the comments. Use the code CoH2 as written there, and I get a 15% cut of the sales. That's a great way to both get the game and support the Propagandacast. And I'll let you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, talk about the video, and such. So, double section mortar start here from Covenant is an interesting choice there. More sections were there. No assault sections at all here so far. West side fighting here with rifle rations, clashing it right into Sloba, Sturmpioniere, Sturmgewehrs, M1 Garands, and M1 Carbines. But the Sturmpioniere definitely getting focused down here. Not the greatest design engagement there by Sloba, to be honest there. And by now, Farlion will quickly gain control of the western side here, as Sloba is rapidly finding himself outgunned. He's obviously looking to push out a fast 2-1, hope to turn the tide for that. Meanwhile, in the east here, we got GiantGingerBreadman with the Grenadier Sniper here versus Covenant, who's got a mortar out here, bombarding those filthy hands. Also taking some nasty damage here from the mortar team there. Sniper gets another kill in the section, pushing them back here for the glory of Deutschland with a scoped Gewehr 43. The German snipers, I think, on average prefer the scoped Carnot TK, or if they get hands on the scope Mosin. Section as the Forces, they push forward aggressively here for Sloba. 2-1 almost on there for the German army there. Brandhunt guy in the section. Probably going to be a battle with headquarters here from Sloba. Tends to be fairly typical here, but it could surprise us with a mechanized regiment. Western point being seized. East side here we got GiantGingerBreadman advancing there for Deutschland. Could threaten here the eastern field point there. West side though, finally making great progress here for the 3rd Armored Division. El Capitan there's fine rushes ahead here for freedom and democracy. Adding a BAR to the captain immediately. ASAP even. Section there though with support from Rifle Squad pushing back there. Breadman's Grenadier Squad there. 3rd Grenadier Squad here for Breadman. Sloba there with the 2-1. A lighter punches spear Vagnati. Rifle Squad being caught by the machine gun mounted armored car there as it goes in pretty aggressively and starts from apart at closer ranges. Damage engine suffer there as Farlion fires an anti-tank rifle grenade at it. East side here. Section moving forwards there. Medics for Covenant. Breadman, Bower, the only player without a commander at this point, is also taking out. There you go. 3rd Grenadier Squad out. East side here we got a section going for deep flank here, hoping to outmaneuver the Germans a bit there. Not shabby. West side here we got Sloba moving forwards there for Deutschland. His full screen in here. Some of Farlion's retreating riflemen. Got the pack outs out there. Farlion bring in some artillery there alongside Covenant. Well, obviously, the Germans commit to any artillery at this rate, light for the least. So a bit of skirmishing on the eastern victory point as Breadman's Grenadiers catches here Covenant's section. In the centre there, a bit of a small hold up as well. As Covenant's up from the assault, we got lots of explosion there as Covenant's retreating right from S-mine field. Sneaky set over there by Breadman ahead of time. Thumbs up. Armoured car there roaming towards the centre here as Farlion is, well, not really pressing on the west for now at least, so that means Sloba can dispatch forces towards the centre to assist his teammate. And he's close being wiped out. Armoured car tearing into here. Covenant's infantry unleashing a hailstorm machine gun fire into the unfortunate Englishmen's backs. Mortar there blasting away for the British Empire, hoping to snuff out any German soldiers around the centre. Not a bad idea at all. And also note he's using the barrage ability there. Thumbs up. 6-pounder gun for Covenant to help deal with the armoured car, plus any armoured car so Breadman might toss at him because he's very likely to do that as well. He could of course consider flamethrower half-tech here, but standard Wehrmacht metagame procedure is to go for 2-2-2. West side, a bit of skirmishing on the western points here as Farlion leads another assault here for freedom and democracy. Anti-aircraft half-track out. No surprise there. Sloba will need a Academy effort to really help deal with that as he can't upgrade his 221 to 222. Well, I don't know, with a 2.8cm anti-tank gun. Which was actually an upgrade that was applied to some 221 scout cars. Few neighbors of Ralph squad there, digging in rapidly. They make use of the infantry commander. Thumbs up there to Farlion. But so far the Germans got pretty good macro. The Americans and British have been thrown here to the wayside as the 2nd Panzerdivision dashes ahead here. Combined effort here by the 3rd and 2nd Panzergrenadier Company against the American British forces. Fuel point there rendered neutral, but Breadman there falling back as he realized the entire situation might turn rather sauerkraut shaped on him, and he's forced to pull back to something more defensible. A Kedman out there for Sloba. Very much expected. Sniper there with 5 kills so far after being fixed up. As for Covenant, not much going in the base there. No armored cars being prepared. No officers. Nothing. Still an assault section. There you go. More S-mines here as Breadman has clearly been quite enthusiastic as an application of S-mines. For those wondering what an S-mine was, the S stands for Sprengmine or jumping mine. Basically, it's a little explosive charge that basically, when triggered, would jump up and then disperse into a lot of little shrapnel, typically either killing or maiming whoever's nearby. Very nasty little mine. Fun fact there. It would not be the only mine the Germans would design towards the purpose of straight up just maiming the opponent, because it turns out maiming an enemy is actually much more long-term efficient than just straight up killing them, at least when it comes to mines. So, sniper on the way there for Covenant to help lead out the Germans. Probably also help counter here Breadman's sniper. East side here, then you see the Covenant trying to flank around. Do have the 221 here being upgraded to the 223. Guessing he's going to set up here on the fuel point. Partly, I think it's the map. It doesn't really have a lot of room for him to use his 221 anyways, but also particularly on his side of the map, the half-track there shuts down his 221 quite aggressively, so if Sloba's planning to just use the 223 now to gain more fuel, I think that's a very smart idea. Would allow him to push out for something a bit more armoured faster then. There you go. 223 setting up the fuel point there, doubling the amount of fuel he gets out the fuel point, though it's worth noting his teammate does not gain that benefit. There's an important distinction here, but still, he's getting 14 fuel now per minute at this moment compared to like Breadman getting 7 fuel per minute. So there you go. Unit wipe there. Good rifle grenade here from Breadman against Covenant. So putting a bit of pressure on him here in the center there. Sloba's men pushing right into Farlion's advance here. He's also going for the Lieutenant, indicating that Farlion is more focused on getting infantry pressure out in the field, but also, wants the 50 cal here as well. So he's not going to push for any medium armor anytime soon. Has his risks, has his advantages, does, I think, put more pressure on Covenant then to, get out armor sooner here. In the center there, mortar firing down here, and Breadman, he's launching the assault here, the Grenadiers, Pioneers, aiming for it, and of course the sniper all on reserve here. Section almost being wiped out. British sniper that's just firing away. And we can sort of see why he's doing it. Again, you sort of see these things happening sometimes, when there's 2 snipers in the field, one knows it, but instead of just waiting to catch the enemy sniper, what they just start doing is start sniping. At that point, the other player's going to maybe try and counter-snipe the other sniper, at which point they suddenly start using the sniper a lot less. And I think that's basically what Covenant is banking on here, that Breadman is just going to get so absolutely, tunnel vision on the enemy sniper, he forgets about everything else. So that's a pretty devious manner here by Covenant, as long as he doesn't get careless with his own sniper, then gets counter-sniped. But if he doesn't do that, and again, is doing this the sensible way, he can definitely, in a sense, practically just shut down his opponent's sniper, because again, Breadman has just lost the bigger picture when it comes to the snipers, and he's just focused on killing his opponent's sniper. So that's pretty devious here by Covenant. Pretty devious. Westwards here, fine there, not making too much progress, in part because he can't really progress much more before he hits the enemy base. East side here, Armoured holding up at the eastern victory point there. Breadman still hasn't gone for a commander. He could start taking up here soon, and Sloba is taking up here. Thumbs up. Light infantry on the way for him, and the German army pushing up the eastern side against Covenant's eastern forces. 6 kills on the mortar, close to victory 2. Oops. Armoured car there a bit dinged up. West side here, fine there, pressuring the left flank hard. Sloba will need to put more pressure on Farlion here, who's also got light machine guns up here. In fact, we can see there, Farlion can now threaten the cut-off point here, which if the Germans lose, it's going to mean everything here is going to be disconnected. So that obviously is something that Sloba's going to have to commit a lot of resources now to defend here. Meanwhile, Farlion's just pushing ahead. He modified this, hurting a bit here, as Breadman has brought in those artillery as well. So in fact, now everyone has a bit of light artillery of some sort, be it mortars, light infantry guns, or pack howitzers. More to the fight here, and Sloba here by the cut-off point. As by again being forced to fight on the cut-off point also makes it easier for the Allies to direct all of their artillery, because they just know they need to direct it at the cut-off point. Sniper there caught here by the sections. Did get Covenant Sniper. But even then, you know, Covenant Sniper, even there, like, just, you know, still did a lot and just prevented the sniper from doing a lot of work otherwise. So while still not ideal and didn't get the sniper there, I mean, overall not too bad there by Covenant. He obviously perhaps got a bit too relaxed there with it, but, I mean, as you can see there, the theory behind it was kind of sound. Half-tech for Covenant. That'll be an anti-aircraft mount, very obviously. As for Farlion, using the captain there to support or rush units out. Thumbs up to Farlion, very good there. Definitely a mark of a more skilled American player, in my opinion. They actually use this ability, supervise. In this case, you to rush out the ambulance. Nice play there. East side here, we got the Pioneers pushed back, half-track rushing forwards. And I think he's just reinforcing a bit before it gets upgraded. We've got S-mines again from Breadman. Very consistent use of S-mines. Very good there. Unless, of course, you're the ones who have to step into it, in which case you're probably not appreciating the artistry behind it. Good lord, there's so many mines, yes, but you know, think of all the work they put into this. Good lord, Terence, whose side are you on? Well, if we're considering the sympathies of a king possibly, shut up! Start removing mines. I'll shove you into the minefield. So, we got Fortified Armour here with command tanks, Panzer Tactician, Recon's Overflight, Hull Down, and the Elephant Heavy Tank Destroyer here. I mean, there's a pick. Folks has been caught up in the anti-aircraft half-track. Big 2 points wise, the Allies are also falling behind the Germans here. Aircraft shot at the skies by the numerous anti-aircraft half-tracks. I mean, they got 2 of them. And the thing is, the Allied anti-aircraft half-tracks are incredibly good at shooting down aircraft. Incredibly good. They pretty much make anything the Germans have look pretty bad in comparison, honestly. So there you go. Flanking round here, though. Nice aggressive drive, but Common completely outmaneuvers his Breadman, though gets caught here by the Pack 40 ability. The only sort of critique one might have here for Covenant is there's no follow-up here. There's no other element that can really take advantage of this, and the half-track gets knocked out without ultimately doing anything. So, on paper, nice idea, but the execution needed a bit more force behind it. West side here, Farlion and Sloba continue to clash it out here. And to take away the Farlion, freedom and democracy. And of course, in a pinch, can use the captain to survive it further out as well there. Center, we got the 5th caliber on the point here. East continue to be a bit of standoff here between Covenant and Breadman. The Covenant by now has grabbed the eastern victory point. Center there's might fall to the Americans as well. On the west side there, Farlion is grabbing it up there. Back at the German base, more troops sending out here for Sloba. We got Orbital Dart now, light machines away for them. And we got tech as well here for Breadman now. So, I mean, Sloba can very soon go for the Panther 4 mod. Yeah, again, a part of this is simply put again just the 223 providing with extra fuel per minute there is really allowing Sloba to move faster towards the medium armor here versus the Allies. So, of course, the question is to go for the Panther 4, or does he decide on something bigger than a Panther 4? We'll have to see. West side here, Sloba with another sortie against Farlion's positions. But unless he can get rid of the half-track, it's going to be tough for just, you know, infantry to push ahead here. Because the half-track is really good for shutting down these kinds of attacks here. So I think at this point, Sloba really needs a Panther 4 or something else to quickly put a stop to this half-track. Because otherwise, I think Sloba's going to find it very difficult to, like, make any gains here. Plus, things get even worse when this half-track gets cleared out, the troops are pressed. And now Farlion here, in a bold American maneuver, is attempting to seize it here. There you go, grabs it, but it's going to get wiped again. So yeah, that's just a waste of manpower for Sloba. And again, crucially, and to take it home to the opponent. Definitely a bit of a slip up there by Sloba. Great kill there for Farlion. Esart, though, Breadman has broken through Covenant here. Crumbled his cookie and pushed it for the field point there. You can't take that for Covenant. Farlion to move up for armor. Covenant, I'm guessing, Cromwell in a pinch, M10. He could even like try and go for the Comet, though. Going for it right now. Might give the Germans a bit more room, and there goes Sloba, goes for the Panther 4 Model J. Thumbs up. As for Mr. Breadman, no support on the core yet. Could of course be he's planning tier 4, the heavy Panzer core, and just more S-mines. Moved off the point quickly. This time, though, Covenant is perhaps prepared to bring in sappers, though they've forgotten the minesweepers. Alright, lads, who brought the sweepers? Hammond did. Hammond's dead. He died in Normandy. Oh, right. And which troops being suppressed to the Grenadiers? Oh, MU-42 behind the Grenadiers. There we go. S-mines going off, killing further the sappers, suppressing them, and just maiming them, and now to retreat through the S-mine field. Wiping the entire unit. Pretty much putting a dent on Covenant's plan to clear out the S-mine field. So, what happened to Hammond's section? Hammond's dead. Oh dear. And who's leading them? James is. Oh, I'm sure he'll make it through, won't he? More sappers there for Covenant. Panther in the centre here for Sloba, adding the pinlight machine and gewehr. Pulls out on the west side here. 5th Cal they're holding up for Farlion. Freedom and Democracy. Half to them now, with the 5th Cal course forming up a pretty tight network of anti-infantry firepower. Some smoke, of course, a good push here from Sloba. Backed up with the Panther 4, though could, I think, crack here Farlion's western bulwark. But so far, the Sloba's keeping the tank in the centre here. Where alongside the opposite line, it's not making much of an impact on a Farlion either, who has actually gone for a mortar half-track. Going for something a bit more self-propelled here in the artillery department. Alongside the pack howitzer. Not a bad choice. The mortar half-track, I think, is an excellent mechanized piece there, so thumbs up there. Though it is interesting to note he's not yet going for any armour. As for Breadman, he's going for tier 4. I would assume he's not stalling straight into an elephant. That would be very insensible. But you never know with some players. Unfortunately. Bunkers here. Breadman there digging in there in the east. Really good S-mining bomb though overall. And there you go. Finally got some minesweepers out there. Oh look, it's James! Well, part of James. Part of James.
We're losing a capture point.
Mortifying down the German positions and mortifying down the Allied positions. West side here, Slova's now moved the Panther 4, but this time though, Farlion has been able to bring in the entertainments that said, I think he might be able to push through there again with some smoke, maybe. But yeah. Kind of already falling a bit apart here for Sloba. The assault was a bit staggered, a bit awkwardly executed, and again, lacked smoke, I think, to really further, shall say, disrupt and suppress Farlion's defenses. After there, the Vetri 2 as well, and so the entire thing just kind of falls apart here, unfortunately, for the Germans. In the centre there, Farlion pushes forward for freedom and democracy, grab the centre victory point. East side there, grabbing the eastern fuel point again here. Very consistent rationing by Breadman here. Thumbs up at least on that account, but still no heavy Panzer core, and I'm starting to get concerned he might try and go for the elephant. I'm not obviously going to give the Allies some kind of headache, but at some part it's also going to be a little less efficient. We got Covenant there with the mortar emplacement. Bring in more artillery there to bear against the Germans. Though no sign of armor. Looks like they're just going to go for the Comet cruiser tank. Panther 4 being fixed up for Sloba. He can actually soon go for another Panther 4. Of course, we're not planning Storm Tigers or something like a Panther. We'll have to see there. As for Breadman, can go for the Panther now. But once the heavy Panzer core is done. Panther down through the center. Ooh, catches the attack of Tafta Key. Bit risky here. Bit of force and reconnaissance, if you will, here by Sloba. But did the trick there and did actually remove a linchpin here of Farlion's defenses by taking out the anti-aircraft half-track. Thumbs up there to Sloba. Bit of air reconnaissance from Breadman. And another half-track on the way there for Covenant. And with this, the half-track's gone. Well, the American one. The American non-Lend-Lease one. We got here Sloba moving up the centre west now, still advancing. Breadman could also trying to follow up with this initial success. I believe the heavy Panzer core's up, but he's still not doing much with it. Which again could lead us to suspect. Okay, he's going for a Sturmpanzer 4, which would certainly be helping him blasting through some of the Allied positions here. Full's been caught here though. Aircraft taking a few hits on the west side here though. Fresh push here by Farlion looking to regain the western victory point for freedom and democracy. As for Sloba, perhaps it's a Panther, perhaps it's a Sturm Tiger. We got the Armored Cars of Sabbath in the east. Truck for Sloba, meaning he's going to move straight on to the King Tiger. Yeah, definitely feel like that one is pushing it a bit far. In some regards, again, timing-wise, is sort of ordering thing to here. It's going to be a significant slowdown then. Even with the fuel being provided by the 223, there's also the matter of manpower. So it's going to take him a bit long to get towards the King Tiger, which of course gives the Allies more time to bring up stuff. As for Farlion, has he finally brought in a major? He has. We got the mortar emplacement being hammered over German fine there. Go 2-2 knocked out here by the anti-aircraft attack and the Covenant's command. We got 4-5 as 2-2. White phosphorus there being unleashed against Breadman's position there. You called in here by, or thrown at him by Farlion's mortar half track. Thumbs up there. Most players tend not to make use of this ability a lot. It can be quite, well, nasty. Pushing out the centre west here. Sloba's men are once more at it, but kind out in the open here, and crucially, being shot at by a lot of Americans. West side here, Sturmpeter is being up there. Got the Pentagon going up here for Sloba. Sturm Panzer there, integrating the sections, ripping apart Lewis and Robert after they're firing away there. And there we go. Strafing support available here now for Covenant. Might be an idea for Sloba to consider an anti-aircraft tactic to be able to shoot down that, because otherwise they could suffer some rather heavy losses. Bunker there remains pretty much intact here, as the Allies haven't made much of a pressure there when he pushes. West side here finally for the fuel point there, or victory point there, and finally there is forced to retract his rear echelons. And there you go, rushing out the M36 Jackson tanks there. Thumbs up to Farlion. Head from up the centre here. Getting the 50 cal. And Sloba's Panther 4 there almost immediately gets turned into scrap metal there by a series of Allied anti-tank guns there. Sturmpanzer all taking a nasty hit from the M1 anti-tank gun. Well, 6-pounder gun, basically the same gun. Just different names. And there we go. We got a Comet tank on the way there for Covenant and the British Empire. We got a munitions cache here for Breadman. He's also close on the command points to the Elephant. So the question is, does he go for a Panther or does he go straight for the Elephant? At the same time, of course, his team is going straight for the King Tiger, which also means both of them at that point won't be exerting too much pressure. So again, this could be the time where the Allies can actually make some great gains. The chance for them to fight the way back through. It's a lot of mortars this match. Again, we got 2 here from the mortar emplacement, 1 here from Covenant, fine with another one there. That's just 4 mortars still there. And then we got Breadman there with a mortar for a total of 5 mortars across all armies. That's quite a few mortars. Barnes on the west side here for Freedom and Democracy. Jackson moving up here. We got a bit of air reconnaissance here from Farlion as it looks to suss out the German positions, and of course, in good American fashion, hammer them with artillery. But there you go, shot down. Air recons as well there. Trying, of course, to counter the German light infantry guns here. That's sending quite a blow to Sloba. It's not got a lot else. In this case, so Sloba is nearly able to get out of there. And we got the King Tiger out there, the Königstiger. That actually went surprisingly faster than I figured it would be. Probably again partly due to the 223 over here. As for Breadman, it would appear like it's going for the Elephant east side. We got the coming up here bombarding here. Breadman's right flank, which has kind of been neglected as, again, he's just got a bunker there, and more of the center's just, like, you know, sucked in all 4 players here. Like a whirlpool of destruction. A vortex of steel and sinew. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Darkest Dungeon lately. Anyways, Königs's been pushed back here with the Comet. Königstiger moving forwards here, adding the Panzer Commandant to that one. West side, good to be more pressure, I think, from Farlion there. East side here, coming up, engaging the machine gun bunker. Blasting away with the 17mm gun. And Breadman, though, perhaps he had planned for the Elephant, but that plan has very much been disrupted then, as he's going for a Panther, a Panzerkampfwagen 5. Bunker kaput. King Tiger in the centre backed up with the Panther 4. They're slowing against Farlion's and Covenant's positions. And there you go, unleashing the Royal Air Force here, the RAF, against Breadman's right flank here. Covenant strikes hard for the Empire. These men that suffered quite atrocious losses there, but there's still men going forwards here. Yeah, these S mines have definitely been quite effective there for Breadman. Because, yeah, I think Covenant is maybe even drawing in Sloba here to defend the east side there, so of course losing the fuel point, and crucially the 2-3 could be quite a blow there to the Germans, and Sloba in particular. But there you go, Panther out here for Breadman and the German army. Centre also now falling under increasing heavy allied pressures. Farlion launches another assault here. Column being fixed up here, east side here, 2-3 holding up. Koenigsegg moving forward and getting the 5th cal there, good shot. More moving up the centre. We've got mines in the west from Farlion. Comet moving towards the centre here. Koenigsegg getting the Comet straight through the frontal armour. Sturmpanzer rolling ahead. Good shot from the Panther and the Comet right through the centre armour. Heading the Pinwheel machine gun. Great shot then the Comet's frontal armour. After they shot down the aircraft, Captain taking some pretty heavy losses. Koenigsegg advances here for Sloba still. Enfield Deutschland 3 killed so far. After they pointlessly firing at the King Tiger, probably more out of sheer, well, frustration and desperation more than actual intent to damage it. East side here, the Sturmpanzer and Panther there, with support from infantry, are ripping apart the Covenant's right flank here. King Tiger Center being the target now of every American and British anti-tank gun, it would appear. Shots bouncing off the thick sloped frontal armour here. Heat shells ringing out. The east side, the pressure continues. Covenant's right flank is falling apart here. Covenant is almost knocked out. Morton placement suffering the full wrath here of the Wehrmacht, as Panther Sturmpanzer shells just impact upon the sandbag walls. 6-pounder gun opening up here, hoping to slow down the German armor assault and prevent a complete and utter disintegration of the right flank, but it appears even that one isn't up. There you go. Breadman makes a mistake, or the Panther betrays him. Could be either, could be both. Either way, the Panther almost gets knocked out. Smoke deployed here. Sturmpanzer may also want to deploy smoke and similarly disengage from the battlefield as Covenant charges in here, spurred on by the one gleaming hope that the Panther can't fire back. You'd be surprised at how many people get much bolder once the enemy can't fire back at them. But there you go, King Tiger arrives from beyond the corner, from an angle he had not seen, and there you go, with the heat shell completely knocks out the Comet. Sturmpanzer G-22 in the centre there. Farlion knocks out Sloba's Panzerkampfwagen 4 here. Absolutely brutal engagement that's left Covenant crippled, and Farlion there, more the dominant force. Meant to, now, he's going to have to keep the entire thing together, I suppose. Jagdpanzer there for Sloba. As for Breadman, he's going for the Panzerwehr for 42. Panther and Sturmpanzer in dire need of repairs here. Might be an idea for Sloba. Oh, it does have repair pioneers then. Never mind. Going back the eastern fuel point. Koenigsegg advancing up the centre there. 6 kills, close to Veterancy 1. Looking to wreck that 6-pounder gun. Meanwhile, Farlion's Jackson tank destroyers there. Looking to knock out the Koenigsegg. Most shots are the missing or bouncing off the King Tiger's thick armoured hide. And there we go, another miss there. Jagdpanzer almost done. More template and active allies survived all of that and is now getting repaired. Section wing forces trying to hold the gun to these here. Got a mortar there abandoned as well. Mortar fire there, almost swapping out Covenant sappers. He suffered quite some losses amongst the sappers, hasn't he? German mortar there at it. 15 kills, ace level. Could me up the Sturmpanzer and use a bunker busting barrage to bust that mortar emplacement, or in this case just bust the section. Jackson charging forward to King Tiger, ripping through Farlion's infantry. Koenigsegg mounting forward here, backed up by the Jagdpanzer. Break through the activate. There you go. A cannon now for Jackson fire. All hammering at the King Tiger. Its armour slowly crumbling here. Mortar there firing away. East side here we got the Panther moving forwards here. Straight to the 6-pounder guns. They're down a half health. 1/3 of its health total there in a matter of moments of the 6-pounder guns just render its armor into nothing. We got strength support here unleashed by Covenant again. Another visit from the RAF against the Hun. Schwerer Panzer quarters activated. Sniper for Breadman again. Breadman, though, a bit short on infantry, could do more, and certainly so could Sloba. Covenant and Farlion, a bit more infantry. In particular, Farlion, overall, I still think has a fairly healthy amount there with 4 squads, though. If you can manage it, the 5th one wouldn't necessarily hurt him, but I don't think he's in a particular dire need of it. Covenant could, I think, definitely benefit from maybe a 4th squad assault section. The officer, maybe just another section. We'll have to see. Either way, though, grenades off here. Artillery fire, explosions, death here. Using the delayed fuse high explosives here. Ripping through here. Sloba's men are wiping his Fortified squad, pushing down to just 2 squads, meaning he's similarly understaffed in the infantry department here as his teammate. Storm Panzer there, hurtling high explosive shells there at the British positions, though not quite landing any particularly spectacular hits here. King Tiger moving forwards. More artillery fire, more death. Orbison almost done there for Sloba. Good shot from the Jackson through the King Tiger's armor. Yak Panzer moving up here. West side could see a bit more action there, I think. Right side, in theory, also. Definitely getting a bit more center focus there overall. The tunnelation, in a sense, there. Jackson there firing at the Sturm Panzer, punching through the armor cleanly. Breadman does appear to be planning out for an elephant heavy tank, so the Schwerer Panzerjäger. Panther and Sturm Panzer continue to be in dire repairs. His pioneers are being overworked. Infantry being wiped out here. More casualties there for the Germans. Sloba at least is adding in more Obersoldaten, but what can Breadman add in at this point? Besides going to use up Panzergrenadiers. Königsjäger continue to push through it. 18 kills, close to 32 there. Shots there. Either punching through, but also just ringing off the frontal armor there. And the West here, rifle squads push back. Morbs moving forward here for your Deutschland, straight into a miner. Good mining here at Farlion. Good mining. You're seeing there left to defend the eastern victory point here. You got 345 of 156. Nations cash in the calf point. Sections swiftly and bravely advancing on the center there. Comet number 2 there for Covenant. Finally having a lot of his equipment there repaired, including the mortar half-track. Apparently, I imagine he just popped up the crew there to assist with repairs more than anything. Or it's just a misclick, hard to say there. In fact, he might end up losing the mortar half-track crew if he's not careful. That would certainly be a bit awkward. Storm Panzer there. Versus the section east. And there you go, we do get the Elephant heavy tank shot there for Breadman. Comet advancing up the right flank here. Panther, Sturm Panzer ready to meet. Of course, the Elephant could be a bit of a single issue here for the Comet, unless he can outflank it. Fine with fresh air reconnaissance, which of course might just be able to spot here the Elephant ahead of time, giving the Allies a bit of advance warning what's about to hit them like a brick through the window. There's some really rude words scribbled on it. Sturmpanzer, Panther, Jagdpanzer all engaging here, and Sloba's calling in more Jagdpanzers. That's actually a bit rare to see Noble Commerce play commits like more than one. I mean, it's kind of rare in the first place to see 2 of them. It is certainly fascinating. Sturmpanzer moving up the east side straight into the 6-pounder guns, and of course the Comet. Section almost wiped out here. And the center Elephant remains on watch. We got the light infantry Geschütz there bombarding both Veteran 3 by the way. Königsjäger once more getting ready to deliver a sledgehammer blow here on the Allied center east side here. Comet is definitely a bit on the wrong end of the gun scale as it's up against 2 Jagdpanzers and a Panther. More sappers there for Covenant. Definitely needs it. West side here, fine. It looks to move in here towards the center as well. They're outflanking the Germans perhaps, but we do have a machine gun bunker to somewhat cover that flank at least. King Tiger there, Veteran 2 now. Things are about to get pretty heated up, I think. We're seeing a lot of German armor. Again, I just see a number of Jagdpanzers remains a fairly large surprise. And Farlion here with a priest. That's a surprise. Mind you, I believe Priest was a British term because this position kind of, where the 50 cal, they kind of look like a pulpit to them. In fact, a lot of the American armor nicknames stem from the British, like, you know, Priest, Sherman, all that sort of stuff there. So, fun fact. Koenigsegg advancing up there. Heavy artillery fire here on the opposite Arden, and there's grenadiers in the centre here. King Tiger there blasting away there. Double Antagonist in the Jagdpanzer, pushing down half of the Sturmpanzer coming fire here as well. Situation getting rather heated up. Here's the Germans now rapidly falling back from the centre here. Obviously not wishing to be in the zone of Allied artillery here. Comet, 6-pounder guns advancing here using the rapid maneuvers ability to get the anti-tank moving up fast here. Thumbs up. Bit of a no-look ability, but can be surprisingly powerful at the right times. Almost got the Sturmpanzer, smoke popped. Elephant remained all on the west side. Here's a can't easily assist in the east. Jagdpanzer taking nasty hits down to half health already. We got the machine on the flank here. Bold set up there by Breadman here. Catches some of Covenant Sabs moving up. Jackson moving in there. Shot bounce off the Jagdpanzer's armor. Panther now moving in here. Gauging then the Jackson head on. Koenigsegg ripping into Farlion's infantry there. Mortify there on Breadman's machine gun position. 21 kills. He almost got Breadman's machine gun there. King Tiger with elephant support advancing in the center here. A brutal maneuver there. King Tiger popping the heat shells, getting hammered from every possible side here. Academy have a 6-pounder guns. Jackson's just all manner of munitions just impacting upon the armor there. It's almost knocked out here. Could be quite a blow there. We've got the King Tigers down in just the elephant. And the elephant, of course, can definitely have some bigger vulnerability if it gets outmaneuvered. Panther also supporting center here. Jackson almost knocked out. 6-pounder guns there firing away here. Elephant hightailing it out of there. Panther falling back here. They got the King Tiger without really losing any armor too. That's pretty decent. Mortar after they're still at 9 kills. Surprisingly hasn't really killed anything else at this point. 18 versus 104. Elephant setting out there. Oops, looks like some of Farlion's crew got a bit too eager. Yeah, we'll take on those goddamn Nazis, once we get a tank destroyer. Coming forward, see. Covenant definitely struggling a bit there to get up more armor. Farlion's Priest are about to deliver another sermon. Freedom, democracy, and high explosives. 75 points. Might be about to get do or die here for the Allies. Jagdpanzer knocked out there. Sloba's definitely trying to take some heavy losses. He's going for another King Tiger. That could be a crucial mistake here that could force every pressure onto Breadman, at which point he might also crumble if the Allies hit hard enough here. So I think Sloba may just have to accept he needs to go for something else rather than King Tiger here again. But if Sloba gets so caught up in that, again, it could be a crucial mistake. In the center though, a lot of artillery fire slung down there. Farlion's advance also got a blend cover grenade. They're messing a bit with it. Jackson's moving about here. Priest got 3 kills now. Mortar after there, not a lot more kills either. Could deploy some smoke maybe to try and disrupt the German positions. Eastern point grabbed by the Pioneers again. Jackson charging in there, going here for a flank on the elephant. Definitely a good read of the situation. Attacked with a fine. Caught Breadman there, perhaps moving his elephant and going hard. Then now we've got strength support as well here. If the elephant falls, this would be a massive issue. There we go. The elephant is down, ladies and gentlemen. Now the Comet's charging in here. That leaves them really just for the Jagdpanzer and the Panther as like the only serious sources of anti-tank fire against the Allies here. Scott on the way there for Farlion. Air support raining down death here. It's complete chaos and pandemonium. Jagdpanzer about to get knocked out as well here. And then again, we'll just leave them with the Panther, which is virtually 2 there, but is now significantly and horrendously outgunned aircraft. They're shot at the skies. They're crashing into the ground here. Jagdpanzer just burning out there. The munitions cooked off. Machine gun bunker, they're almost knocked out. Really huge blow to the Germans. The entire match just pivoted, I think, towards the favor of the Allies quite aggressively. And the Germans, besides the lack of armor, also now has a rather large deficit of infantry, in particular Breadman. And calling grenadiers this late to the game is not a great look. Hell, he hasn't upgraded the other ones he already has. More commentary for Covenant, and Farn, of course, bringing more stuff as well here. So, not looking great here at all for the Germans. Priest bombarding again here. More tactic, I feel like, could also get perhaps a bit closer to the action there. East side here, going up. There we go. Tilly called in here by Covenant to deal with the machine gun there. Panther here moving in as well there. 7 kills. Slowly, very slowly approaching me. We got Orson leading a charge here for Sloba towards the center here. Comet there with Sapper support there. The white phosphorus shell there fired at them. Was it white phosphorus mortar fire? It is mortar fire here. Plus the Scott here, leaving Sloba's infantry in a particularly horrid plus position. All victory points control the allies here. Things for the second Panzer Division are looking pretty horrid here. Orbis on the center down to just 2 men. And go render neutral. They have to retreat here. They cannot fight any longer. Comet there going for the Panther in the east. Second King Tiger, Sloba did go for the King Tiger, but again at this point the situation are much more drastically different, and it might be much harder now for the King Tiger to really recover any sort of semblance of, you know, advantage for the German Reich here. As the entire front line is just falling apart here. King Tiger taking some hits here. Coming up the left flank here, Jackson's out of the ring, including 1 ace level there. Other one is only at 52, but that's still pretty good. In particular, remember to pop the HVAP rounds here, which increase penetration and damage, meaning that King Tiger could quickly go down there to Farlion's tank destroyers. Got 255 versus 57 here. Another half to there for Covenant. So what are the Germans going to do now, and what are the Allies going to do besides, you know, try not to lose any of the victory points? Got a fighting position up here by the western point. Well, part of the position, the crucial part is the actual guy in it. Panther shoots, misses the Comet. King Tiger up here. Diving in for Deutsch and Blitzkrieg maneuver here from Breadman against Covenant. Other comboing in here. Good shot on the Panther. Panther there. Slowly, very close to veteran free action. The west side, another push forward. See, we got the Major moving in. 5th Cal there, still not upgraded. Scott there. And now we got all the funds in being rushed in to defend the point here. We got grenades on the fighting position. Of course, Sloba trying to ensure that Farlion cannot upgrade it. And the east side, another bit of strafing runs here to finish off Brettman's Panther and possibly the Sturmpanzer as well here. And of course, any infantry. Sturmpanzer kaput. Panther does gain the ace level, but it's also dead as it gets knocked out there by Farlion's Jacksons. No HVAP rounds here. Could have popped that against the King Tiger. Can still do that technically. Comet rushing in here. Panther popping heat shells. It's level health left, and I think with this, the Germans are very much getting the water here. Yep, there we go. Sloba and Brettman surrenders. A loss here for the Reich. A victory for freedom and democracy. A brutal battle here in Wolfheze. And some immense battles here at the end. So, I hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. Gave some different matches. Some new tactics and strategies to explore. Some new units to look at. This is Imperial Cheers. Thank you for watching. And see you all tomorrow for an awesome episode. Bye.